Yeah, mates. So, second Super Tuesday roundup. That's what we're doing right now, and I'm not going to do anything else today. So, you may hear the laundry in the back, but whatever, right? So, four states voted: Georgia, Mississippi, Washington, and Hawaii. And for the rest, there were House primaries in Mississippi and a Senate primary election, so we're going to go over those as well. First off, Georgia. Unsurprising, Biden 95% of the vote, gets all the delegates. Trump 85% of the vote. So, how is that going to look like? Well, I'm just going to pull up the rules real quick. And I didn't prepare that, but whatever. Georgia. Congressional district wise, if you get a majority, you get all three delegates. And Trump, the lowest number of votes was in the 5th congressional district, which is Democrat controlled. That was 59%. Every single other district, it was significantly higher. So that's 42 delegates right off the start. Statewide delegates, if you get, it's proportional, but with a 20% threshold. Nikki Haley has 13% of the vote, therefore she gets no delegates for the statewide. Next up, Mississippi. There you go, Mississippi, and I'm going to do the other races at the same time. Biden, uncontested rate, gets all delegates. Trump, 92% of the vote at the moment. It's not fully counted yet, but we have a point. So that means 12 for the district seats. Trump gets at the lowest 90%, highest 93%, just under 94, so he gets 12 delegates because it's winner take all for those congressional districts. Well, if you get 50% of the vote. Majority, 50% of the votes, otherwise 20% threshold. Well, you see the point. Trump gets everything. Now, the Senate race, Democrats uncontested. Roger Wicker wins re-election easily. And considering that Mississippi is a jungle primary only when there is a vacancy, it means Roger Wicker is easily cruising to re-election in this particular case. I don't think he even has competition from, let's say, a libertarian, so that's easy. House races, nothing really important going on. The 1st, the 3rd, and the 4th district are controlled by Republicans. The first was uncontested, the second one of the third race was uncontested, and the fourth one, there was a primary challenge, but Mike Hazel easily won that one by like a margin of 50%. So we don't even need to discuss that. Washington, 7.5% uncommitted for Biden, so there may be a base problem even in Washington. Doesn't really matter because it's still going to be plus 10 for Biden at the end of the general election, so who cares? Republican side, this is a more Democrat leading state, of course. So you can see Nikki Haley gets about 20% of the vote. Now, how are the delegates doing? 10 for each congressional district. If you get a majority, you can guess where this is going. You get all delegates. Lowest margin of victory, I'm just looking at the green papers here, which is directly quoting the Secretary of State. Lowest for Trump is 61%, which would be the 7th district and the 9th district, so that's basically Seattle. So, Trump gets 30 delegates. Statewide, 74% for Trump. Yep, 74.1. Haley at 20%, and this is a stricter proportional if a candidate exceeds 20% of the vote. Now, in this particular case, some quick math for you. Multiply by 13, that would be 9.2 delegates. And that would be 2.8 delegates. So that's 3 for Haley, that's 9 for Trump. And the last one is Allocated rule. Let's see. Yeah, it's rounded, so rounded upwards. So that's Trump. 40 delegates to 3 for Nikki Haley. And the last state of the day was Hawaii. This one's pretty funny because it took quite a while to actually count the votes, at least today. So Biden is in trouble in Hawaii. There's a significant base problem here. A third of the vote in Hawaii in the primary didn't cast a vote for Biden. It's kind of a problem. In the case of Trump, he gets 97% of the vote. So, what does that mean? 97% means that you take the congressional districts multiplied by 3, round up. So that's 3 for the first district, which he has 96%, 96.9 of the vote. Then it's the second district, in which he has 97%, so he gets all 3 of those. Then it's the RNC delegates, which he gets all of them. And then finally, it's the at-large. Now, you have 96.9% of the vote. It's a little less than this, but this is purely because of rounding. So, that would be 9.6 delegates rounded up. So he gets every delegate. Now, what does this mean for the delegate count? Well, it's very simple. Trump is already surpassing the 1215 mark. At my count, he is at 1256. So Donald Trump is the nominee, bar any shenanigans at the convention. Keep that into account. That is something very important here. Biden also has enough delegates, which is something you also need into account. So, Mississippi, that's the only Senate race. And when it comes to the House race, Alabama was already done, Arkansas was done. Mississippi is the only one that's added. Governors, no other race. So we got everything for this particular cycle. Delegate tracker seems to fail for decision desk. Who cares? So we have a quick roundup for second Super Tuesday. It is now confirmed it's a rematch. There's no need for me to cover any additional primary results, at least for the presidential primary, because Trump is going to sweep every single state here. Let's see, the 15th, so Friday we have the Mariana Islands. Saturday we have Guam. Those are all going to go for Trump. This is an additional 18 delegates. Next week is third Super Tuesday, which would be Arizona, Florida, Ohio, Illinois, and Kentucky. And they are basically there for the important races. Now, the reason why Arizona is important, because I believe the primary is next week for the Senate election. I can just quickly catch up for that. Quickly look at it. Congressional elections. Yeah. Senate. It doesn't really want to tell me, of course. Here. Important dates, which would be Arizona, primary, 30th of July, apparently. Filing deadline is April 1st. So, that's important to note. And then we have another important state would be Ohio next week. Filing deadline would be December 20th, 2013. Primary is the 19th, so that's next week. So that's the Senate primary and the congressional primaries. Then we have another important state was Florida. Filing deadline the 26th of April, and the primary is at August 20th. Is there any more important Senate races? Well, see, the Michigan primary is on August 6th. For the Senate races, that important. Pennsylvania is April 23rd primary, and then we have Wisconsin. It's at August 13th. Those are the important Senate races. So, thank you kindly for watching. See you next time. Cheers.